Hello. Tonight we're going to walk you through some of the features of ImpressCMS, specifically the preload feature. We use that in a recent patch for Smarty and decoupling some of the functionality that was in there to hide email addresses or protect them from spam bots. So just what is a preload and how does it work? Other systems may call it a hook or part of their listener service. It may just also be just called triggers, which is what we will call them as part of an event system. You'll see here the file that we put in the protect email code. It's separate now from the Smarty class file where it was earlier up until now, and it sits underneath the preloads folder, and I'm going to get rid of some of these other folders or collapse them down to make it a little bit easier to sort through this. The preloads is under the plugins folder of the root, and under there you'll see a bunch of files listed that we already have as part of the core, the custom tag, preload, which we will cover in another episode. There's also some auto login, auto tasks, multi-language capabilities that are all handled by different preload classes and events. You'll see, if you look at the file name, that the file name is part of the class name, and you just take and uppercase the file name and append or prepend ICMS preload to the class name, and that's how the system knows what you're looking for and that this is a valid preload file. So if it matches the name in the file, you will have a valid class to begin working with. Then the methods of the class are attached to specific events, and here is a search through the core of all the different preload trigger events that are happening throughout the core. They happen at different points so that you can hook into things that are happening at those times. You'll see that in the image browser, we have an admin header and before footer events that are taking place. Farther down, we have in the common file the finished core boot, where all of the necessary things are loaded. Then the control panel functions, there's an admin header loader there. You'll see a lot of our events are triggered around display filtering, and before it goes into the database, and after it comes out of the database, depending on if it's a plain text area or if it's an HTML area. There are different things that occur there. So depending on the types of content and their events, what you want to do, you can attach an event to each one of those, or specifically for that. The text sanitizer also has similar. Those are some of the legacy events and things that are happening. The event preload handler is where you go to look and see just exactly how this is all being built and constructed. The libraries handler is a little separate thing there. The start core boot is as we start to the ImpressCMS loading process, and you'll see some other things in there. So to see all of these, you can see where they are, but you can also go to the wiki, and there under the core events page, we have a pretty up-to-date list of the events that are currently within the core, and where you'll find them, and what it is that's triggering them. Back now to the file, and as these events are happening, you can then attach, like I said earlier, specific things to go on to there. What we're looking for in the protect email one is before a text area displays or an HTML area displays, we want to convert email addresses into multiple images, and we do not want to do that when we're editing those areas. So we've attached these events specifically to the display and not to the input or edit. We've also taken some common things here and how the preload system knows which of the methods in these classes are for attaching to events is that the prefix event needs to go on to each of the triggers that you want to attach to. If you have other code that you want to use, and here we've done that with the convert email method, is that instead of duplicating this code in multiple places throughout here, we just have it in one place, and then we can invoke that when necessary. And that way we've got less to maintain, less duplication. It's do not repeat yourself. You know, the DRY acronym, and that helps us in understanding what's happening here. That's pretty much all we've got here for that, and you can say that in the plugins you look for use the file name and the naming convention for the classes. You use the naming convention for the methods within that class that attach it to specific events happening throughout the core, and without ever having to hack the core, you've now extended it, and any of these customizations that you add are available without having to explicitly state them in the somewhere else. There are some blog posts that will help you explain that. Here's a blog post I did, it looks like about 5 years ago, where I wanted to add a specific piece of JavaScript to every page that would then convert some different things on the page to links and pop-up windows, similar to what you see for references to Wikipedia or Bible verses or something like that. If you've got questions, we have a fairly attentive group in the forums that have applied many of these things to their websites. Go in, register, and get your questions answered there. And then the wiki is also a good spot for you to do it. Comment on the video, ask questions there, share it on Google Plus. We're checking it out there, and we appreciate the time that you've taken to watch the video and learn more about ImpressCMS.